Okay, cool, we are live, let's go. So, managed to plug a microphone in today, which is good news. Okay, cool, so let's start off with the high time frames on Bitcoin first of all. We've had some moves down, and to be honest with you, that's what we was expecting, but you know, when do these moves down stop? And this is what we was talking about, these scaling zones, so potential opportunities. And you know, we've pretty much gone all the way down to the bottom full wave there. So yeah, I mean, the only way you can manage this is using these scaling techniques. I mean, you take a trade here, for example, it moves down, you get stopped out, and you know, it's just a selection of stop outs which is going to basically nail your R multiple when it comes back up, and you'll just end up at break even. But like I went over in the video, I think 4 videos ago, scaling into these positions, you know, almost using a increments of your initial position size is gonna protect. So that's what we've pretty much been doing, and you know, we've still got some positions, Bitcoin, ETH, so we'll just go over that. So notice this this cheeky trend line on the 4 hour. So let's start with the daily here. I've just changed this this scalper moving average to green and red. You know, I'm not a real green and red fan, but I can just look on the right hand side here to see where this scalper is on the different time frames just very quickly by eye. But what I'm seeing is it penetrated the low tide underneath, started to move down, and this is a retracement. So we've got a daily area here. You know, as we wanted to come back above that moving average, but it didn't quite work out. So we've got like a kind of area here. It's basically being supported on a daily area for now. Okay. So that translating into the 4 hour. I mean, if we just copy this over, you know, we're in this kind of bottom area here, and we've just poked down and touched that trend line. So that's looking good. So this area, remember, was the 88.6 from the full wave. So when we look at this, let me open these out to make it a bit easier to see this. So on this top right hand side on the 1 hour, you know, we was taking these Fibonacci entries all the way up. You know, the divergences on the overwatch for exits, and you know, we was looking for this final Fibonacci retracement. Didn't quite work out, broke down, and you know what I'm doing is as you can see, it's a bit messy, but if I just measure from the bottom to the top as a full wave, this is where these this kind of faded scaling zone is. So 61.8, 78.6, then you got that 88.6 full wave at the bottom. Oh, hang on. Oh. Oh, everything's moving now. Okay, so there's a couple of different Fibonacci measurements. One was here. One was here. Yeah, actually, yeah, this was one. I can tell by the divergences. So you can see one divergence, 2, 3. So what it was is like a 3-wave pattern, and then the main wave. That's right. This is what we was going over. So it's like a 1, 2, 3 drive, and then after the third drive, we're looking for a retracement on all 3 drives, and that's what we was waiting for. So we had that bottom 88.64 wave. It's just a little bit transparent at the moment, but it's just there. So if we just get rid of this Fibonacci, and you'll see the scaling zone. So this box, top of this box, as it's moved into this is what we was waiting for. So this entry we didn't enter, so it's coming in, spiking into this scaling zone, moves up, touches the I think that's the low tide, and then just completely collapsed down to the lower areas, and literally exited right on this point. You know, I was waiting for this move up, moved up, touched the I mean, look at the accuracy there. This is the beauty about using the Trendmaster, because it's a bit awkward to know what you're looking at, and you do have to put the work into to see these details. But look at what's happened. It's come up, touched the low tide Trendmaster. Now you have to understand where the risk lies. The risk lies to the downside, because we're below. There's nothing on the upside, so a retest, and then a move down inside bar as well. So look at where the price has halted, right underneath this boundary level. Let me just turn the settings up. So you just come into this scales, indicators, financial labels, and you can see them. Yeah, the boundary. So it's come up, touched the low tide, closed below the boundary or just on, and then we had that big move down. So that's why. I mean, if we would have closed above the low tide or above the boundary, then I would have kind of maybe held it, but just closing out. So great move there. Risky, I'll admit, risky, but I had to get out at that point. So looking at the 15-minute lower time frame, we're looking nice. I mean, yesterday's session, okay, was a sideways affair. Had a little push down, but just some just a little note on this issue. I found this is like a kind of delta indicator for trading view. It's not great. It's just, it is what it is. But it just gives me a little insight here. You can see moving down, you got this selling volume. It's kind of being absorbed here as it goes sideways. We have this final push down. So if we just level this out here, and then this point here, this hammer pushes down below, creates a session low, closes back higher, nice, and then comes down. Pretty much all these kind of bear trap, closes below, has a pin fake out, and then moves back above, and then just continues. So this kind of left hand side here was just a trap. It's come back up, and now it's working its way up. I mean, these guys got trapped up. Okay, now if you see this divergence was just printing for you know, 2 sessions, as you can see, 1 session, 2 session. It's moved its way down, and this is what I was talking about. The divergence is the low time frame. It can get hairy, man. I mean, we're talking about positioning on 15-minute time frame. This could just happen 3, 4, well, let's say what, once, twice. So if you would have entered here, this is why I exited on this push up, because we kind of entered 3 times, then moved up, got no more ammunition if it starts to fall down. So you just close out some positions in profit, and then if it does move down again, you can just add those positions back in. It's like putting the bullets back in the gun. So yeah, what I was saying was, is you can tell this kind of push down. This is why we entered this cumulative absorption, divergence, all good. Yeah, so the session yesterday, sideways, we broke above that, and we just retested it. We just retested it, moved away. We're around the open now, so it's going to be interesting a few days for sure. But the main thing is that 88.6 full wave, that's where all of the trap was happening. That trap happened on the 88.6, so that's nice. But what I'm interested in is ETH. Major move down, man. I mean, that rising triangle just completely collapsed, as you can see here. And I was thinking about that when we had this kind of round off. Seen this a couple of times before, but it is what it is. So where are we at? It's a shame because I don't have the annotations on this chart, but to be fair, it's probably best to keep them away. So divergences, I mean, there's a small divergence here, as you can see. This candlestick low, we've gone a bit lower. There's clean RSI moving up, the Overwatch. So the RSI and the MACD have got on some other charts, but all look the same. But look at that little beautiful candle there. I mean, that is just stunning. That right there. So nice hammer right on the scalper, right on the low tide. We could see a move back up here. I mean, I'm liking that. Don't mean to sound like Jim Cramer, but 1 wick, 2 wick. We've already had a wick that's come down today, and it's moved back up, and we're in bullish territory. So looking at the 4 hour, it's looking nice. I mean, the last area that we was touching on was around here. Oh man, we haven't even made it down there. Interesting. But on the daily, we did make it back down there. Look, so that daily area, same as Bitcoin. We have touched it, like literally to the pip up. Mate, you know what? These markets are not giving away literally a pip. Look at that. It's literally touched it on the line. So if I just copy this one over to this chart here. So we know this is the daily level. It's come down, touched the daily level, and moved back up. There's nothing on the 4 hour that give that away apart from that this doji here, which is rounded off. In fact, that's where I had the 4 hour level. In fact, I've got a couple of ETH charts. Is it on here? No. So 4 hour level right on that doji. Right there. Yeah, so that was clean. And this is where we're entering, so it was a bit awkward, obviously, entering on these types of moves down, on these big candles, to the downside. You know, you've got to take the risk, man. You got to take the risk, scaling very small. And I'm starting to realise now that you don't exactly have to double up. So I've just got some notes here that I wanted to share very quickly. So this is just one entry strategy for potential trade. So if I'm going to keep this one simple. So if I'm entering 2% risk on one position, on a position, but I'm entering, say, like 3 times, and then quite simply the entry is going to be, the first entry is going to be 0.5%. Okay, and then let me just first entry 0.5%, second entry 0.5% again, and then the third entry 1%. Oops. Oh, damn it. Got this drawing tool stuck on there. So I got three shots at this. Okay, 0.5%. As long as you calculate your stop loss, so pretty much all you're going to do is if you get three entry. I'm just looking at this 15-minute chart. This is flying up. Broken above the wave there. Nice. Okay, so 3 of these. Okay, so I mean, how can I explain this? It's probably best going to be on a Fibonacci. So this is what was going over on the very first video when we was doing this probably a week ago, talking about as this does come down here, where you're going to enter, where you're going to scale, and this is why in the Bitcoin chart, okay, this Bitcoin chart, the scaling zone, the top of the box is one, the bottom of the box is another, and then the 88.64, the 88.6 level is going to be like the big hitter, so the 1%. So what's going to happen is, you know, first one 88.6 there, so the stop loss is going to go, you know, below the 100% area. This red area is 0.5%, so you just got to calculate that, and then price moves down to the next entry point, 78.6, so you're there, so you just overlay that. Stop loss same, then 88.6, stop loss same. Okay, and these targets are pretty much all the same. It's just the stop loss that is getting smaller. So you see these red boxes there, that's a total of 2% there. All good. Okay, so what's happened is the point that I'm trying to make is that with those 3 entries, okay, you've got an overall kind of overarching trade. And where is the entry point here? Well, the entry point is basically halfway between the first and third entry. So halfway between. So you can just get another Fibonacci tool, draw this, locate 50% level, and then your trade is right there. That's where the entry point is. Okay, so 1397, bottom entry 1364. So that's how we're doing it. So you can get rid of these then. This is the trade, stop loss around there, so 3.5 to 1 up to the first target. Okay, so if the first entry was here, if you nailed it, held it all the way down, say 2%, you enter 2%, 61.8 moving up, you're only getting say 2R, okay, so you're getting 4% back. By doing it this way, okay, 3.5R, still 2%, that's 7% back. You're nearly doubling your returns. And this is what I've been trying to push home on the numbers, that literally managing the numbers, if you can nail the math, you can see these these details, then you can see that where the power lies. Okay, cool. So I think I've made my point here. Looking very nice. So we've touched that bottom area. Looking like we're moving up now. So hopefully this can continue. So looking at the lower time frames for ETH, then we'll wrap it up. Push below this low tide. We're moving back above this low tide now, which is great. And just looking at the daily on the bottom left, we've got them 2 wicks, which is just beautiful. So that bottom wick for the day is 1424. So let's just put that on the chart. So 1424, this wick here, just note that on the chart, this wick just there is 1424. Okay, now when we look at the chart here, 1424 is right there. Okay, so what does that mean? That means yesterday's session, and these sessions, they're accurate. I've tested these. They're very accurate. We've busted above that outside of the session. So the session, when the volume is there, we're pushing down, and then outside the session, it looks like the Asia session pushing out of that, trapping all these traders, coming down and retesting that level right there. Okay, so 1424 was that retest of yesterday's session, and then we've pushed up and we're breaking, kind of stepping out of the levels there. So all good. Okay, cool. So we'll wrap that up, and I think we're preparing to move offline now. So what the plan is there's going to be Overwatch Trendmaster kind of tips video, how to use it to your advantage and stuff like that, and then I think we'll be wrapping up these entries and stuff. We're moving to a different diary system now, so can get it a bit more private and locking it off. Cool. Cheers.